what's cracking, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Theme Team Thursday. And if you haven't already figured it out by the looks of it, today's theme is gonna be Pokemon that are snake-like or serpentine. So I'm bringing a Steelix, Gyarados, Arbok, Electros, Superior, and Milotic. And my opponent is Angelo today, and he's got some pretty powerful looking Pokemon, especially like Giratina. And I'm loving the fact that he's bringing a Primeape because I have never faced a Primeape in a legit battle from X and Y before, so that's gonna be fun. But the whole point of this team was I'm bringing together a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't really work together too often. So that's you'll see, it's a fun battle. So he leads off with the Arcanine here, which is, why do I always get stuck with Arcanine leads when I don't want them? So I let off with ironically, this my Steelix. So I gotta bring that thing back up out of there because he's not gonna do too well to a Flare Blitz. So I go into Ariel, my Milotic here, who should take the Flare Blitz pretty nicely. I mean, Marble Scale, everything, it's nothing, man. It's nothing. So we do see that this thing is gonna take some Flare Blitz recoil, but it is Shell Belt, which is pretty nice. I mean, like, most of Arcanine's attacks are physically recoiling anyway. So take a Wild Charge here, and I live it, luckily. And I figured I'd go for the Dragon Tail because I really thought he would have switched out. Because honestly, I forgot all about Wild Charge there. So I Dragon Tail a Dragon-type Pokemon out. This shiny Giratina, who kind of looks like an Earthworm with the shiny color palette. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think it looks like a floating Earthworm. So I live in Earth Power, despite the special defense drop I get, and I go for an Ice Beam, hoping for a freeze. Or even more than half damage, but it doesn't really do too much, so that kind of sucks. So I'm going to go out into another Pokemon who I think can handle this, which is my Daenerys, my Gyarados, as he goes for an Earth Power, which I pretty much predicted. That's why I went out into Gyarados, being a flying type. I go for an Ice Fang here, just seeing how much it would do, and I get the freeze. Talk about clutch. Clutch moments, guys, clutch moments. So this thing's frozen. It's like an Earthworm with like smoke coming out of his back. So I go for a Dragon Dance here, because why not, right? So yeah, I got +1 attack, +1 speed, and this thing's still frozen solid, as most Earthworms are in the winter time. Gonna go for another Ice Fang here, and I kind of hoped that he would live it, so I could go for another Dragon Dance, because I wasn't really afraid of this thing. But he does go down to that second Ice Fang, and I get the Moxie Boost, which is super nice, because I'm sitting at +2 attack and +1 speed right now. So this Arcanine comes back out, and I'm like, damn it. This thing's probably going to want to go for a Wild Charge, and it's going to be 4 times effective on my Gyarados here, so I have to Mega Evolve. And that's the thing, Mega Evolving Gyarados is always something you have to be totally sure you want to do, because that flying typing that gives you fighting resistance becomes a weakness when it Mega Evolves and gets that dark typing. So that really sucks, but I decided to stay in and go for Waterfall anyways, because that should kill. I mean, I was at +2 attack, so if anything, I'm back to neutral attack now. But I still have +1 speed. Cha-cha. So he goes and sends out this Primeape here. And, you know, in hindsight, maybe I could have taken this thing out with a Waterfall. I'm not too sure, because I would outspeed it. But I go into Medusa, who resists fighting types like no tomorrow. Get the Intimidate off on this Fuzzball monkey here with cool metal cufflets around its hands and arms. And this close combat does not do a damn thing to my Arbok, so take that. And this thing's defense is going to drop. So, you know, I thought he would switch out here. And I thought I would be smart and try to capitalize off that by going for what you will see shortly, a Coil. But he actually sends out this Greninja, and I'm like, crap. This thing is not only probably packing extra sensory, but it's a special attacker, which means I'm pretty much screwed, and I just wasted my nice Coil. Come on, man, how you gonna do that? So I gotta take Medusa back out of the game for now, and go back out into Ariel, my special wall, who's pretty much living life out on a limb right now. I don't know if she's gonna live or not, but I sent her out regardless. So he does go for that extra sensory, and this is gonna be extra deadly on my Milotic. So she goes down. I would like to use her a little bit more, but she does go down there. Would have came in handy later on in the battles, which you'll see. But I go back out into Medusa, and you might be wondering why. Wait for it. I packed the Sucker Punch. Look out for the Sucker Punch. So, the Greninja is frail as frog legs, guys. So, that Sucker Punch takes it out in one swipe. Which is pretty nice. I was ecstatic at that point. At that point, I was like, oh, this guy's gonna rage quit on me now. You don't let an Arbok take out your Greninja. You don't let it happen. But he goes back out into his Staraptor, which is a problem. because I gotta intimidate this thing again. So I go out into Steelix predicting the Brave Bird, just because I want him to get some damage off. Ideally, I did want my Steelix to be more of a wall with Rocky Helmet, but I opted for the Sheer Force Life Orb combo, just because my Lodic was already pretty bulky. So is Electro, especially. But this close combat does not take me out totally, which is nice, even though it was a crit. Ironically, ironic things just happen when Irony's on the field. But I went for the Earthquake, thinking he would switch out, which he did not do, ironically. So maybe I should change Steelix's name, but I go back out into Medusa just to get the Intimidate off again. So this thing's sitting at minus 1 special defense, -1 defense, and -1 or a whole stage lower attack. T opts to go for a Brave Bird. I was hoping Medusa would live it, but she does not. But she did get a good kill though. Come on. Arbok taking out a Greninja. You don't see that every day. But I go out into Unagi here, whom you guys probably remember from last week's battle, Under the Sea. As he goes for a Brave Bird, which does not really do too much, even despite the fact that it's crit. All this Star Raptors crits are not doing what they're supposed to do. So, I think I opted to go for the Volt Switch here. I did think that Aggron was coming in. Wow. So I was debating on whether or not I should go for that Acid Spray to get a special defense drop, but I was like, whatever. Don't chance it. Don't get cocky. So I got Kobe here, my Mamba, my superior, as he goes for the Mega Evolution, which is nice. Never really see a Mega Aggron anymore. So he's got a filter now, which I have to watch out for because, of course, super effective attacks won't do as much. But I do have an ace up my sleeve as I go for the Reflect, since he does have pretty much 100% physical attackers left on his team. Now that Greninja is gone. So this Dragon Claw does not do a damn thing. So right now, I want to go back out into Unagi, just because I am packing the Flamethrower, which I don't think he knows or suspects, which is a nice thing. Like, how does this thing get Flamethrower? It's an eel. But, it's an eel leech, I guess. It's more of an eel. So the name is Electros. So anyways, I do go for that Flamethrower. And I'm like, I don't know if this is going to take you out. And it doesn't. So I'm like, but I get the burn. So that's like a burn, man. I'm just rubbing it in this Aggron's face that I just sprayed fire on it. And then it's going to die to a burn. So had it not been for that burn there, I don't think I would have, well, pretty much obvious I wouldn't have had as much HP after that Dragon Claw. So he goes out into Primate Pair, and I'm like, crap, can't outspeed this thing, but I can't afford to lose anyone else on the team. So luckily, I do live one close combat, so good on ya, Unagi. I didn't think you had it in you, but you proved me wrong. And I go for a Giga Drain here, just for jokes, but holy crap, like, it does more than half. Hello? What's happening here? He goes for another close combat. I'm like, yeah, I should live that, but I don't. So, yeah, 2 close combats, man. Don't sleep on that. So Unagi did pretty good work this battle. Anyways, I go out into Daenerys, which is kind of a risky play here, because like I don't even know what Mega Gyarados' speed is. I'm gonna take a close combat to the face, and I'm like, live it. And so I do live it with a little more HP than I thought I would. Had I not lived that, I would have been screwed, I guess. But I decided to take this thing out with a waterfall. So that's pretty fortunate right there. And there's one more big barrier that's preventing me from winning this game. This freaking Star Raptor. I've got 3 Pokemon left, one of which who's on his dying stretch of life here. So I gotta go back out into him, hoping that he went for a Brave Bird. I'm pretty sure that's not what he went for, considering I have a fighting weakness. So yep, he does go for that close combat. But you'll see that this actually ends up being the smarter play. Why, you ask? Right there, because of that special defense drop. Now that I mentioned that, I wonder if you guys can see what's coming. Because I go into Kobe here, who is, I know, weak to the Brave Bird, but I go for a Giga Drain just to get some residual damage off, because some part of me was hoping that, you know, Mega Gyarados would outspeed the Star Raptor. So I am sitting at almost full HP now, and he does go for that Brave Bird. Keep in mind, I do have that Reflect up. So, I'm like, live, Kobe, live. And he does live. So, one more Giga Drain should do it after that recoil. The Reflect wears off, so it's clutch. It's game time. 3 seconds left on the clock. He shoots. He scores. Kobe does it again. He's too clutch, man. He's too clutch. This guy's probably just like kicking himself. I remember I said nice to this guy after. He didn't reply, which I felt really bad for. But yeah, that was a hella fun battle. I really wish I could have got to use Steelix a bit more, because Steelix is one of my favorite Pokemon ever since 2nd Gen came out. Milotic, I could have used her a bit more, but I'm happy with what she did. So yeah, that was a pretty fun battle, guys. Let me know what you think of this Serpentine team. Serpentine team, that sounds better. But yeah, if you guys have any, ideas as to which themed team you want to see again for the next week, don't be afraid to drop a comment below and let me know. As always, I'm probably I do have a whole bunch of other ideas for other themed teams coming up, so I'll probably go through those and then slowly start to cycle back through the theme teams that I've already used. But yeah, so as always, guys, remember to smash that like button for me, and until next time, peace.